302 Broome Street. We heard them in person last month. They had to meet with the residents and make a few changes and come back, so hopefully we won't have to spend as much time on that. It should be very quick. So we're going to take that with a second. The first one, the applicant is here. Please raise your Zoom hand, and I think the attorney is trying to answer.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, good evening.
Hello again.
Hello, Frank. And I know just this afternoon we did just get a signed agreement, so that's also part of the reason that makes this a lot easier, because you have an agreement with the neighbors and tenants, and actually tenants of the building, not just neighbors. So I haven't necessarily had a chance to thoroughly look at that because it didn't come in, but opening it now. So I'm just going to, just for procedure, I'm going to just give the quick summary. I know some of these things have probably changed, but we'll correct those as they go. So this is 302 Broome Street LLC doing business as Dumbo, seeking a full premises license for the premises located at 302 Broome Street between Forsyth and Eldridge. It's an application for establishment of up to 140 people, 2 floors containing 29 tables and 131 seats, 2 bars for 20 and 16 stools respectively, a full kitchen serving food during hours of operation, no television with live music, DJs, recorded, and background music. There are 16 on-premises licenses within 500 feet. This location previously housed a restaurant, Stone Pizza, also Omar's and Better Days, both of which were licensed for full on-premises liquor license. This current applicant has never previously held a license but has worked in the industry. 34 residents. Did you send in any new petitions, or were these just the petitions from last time?
Last month.
Okay, because I didn't update them, so I'll just confirm that. So 34 residents who live within 2 blocks signed a petition in favor of the application, and they were proposing hours of 5 p.m., opening 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, closing 2 a.m. Sunday through Wednesday, and 4 a.m. Thursday through Saturday, and opening at 12 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So, they were originally proposing live music and DJs at entertainment level. Yeah, so I know, again, I didn't really have a chance to look over that agreement, but I will let you make any changes or corrections to what I just said, and I'm going to look at this agreement while you are doing that. Frank, do you mean you can't hear?
No, I'm asking Ed a question about the STIP.
Okay,
I just heard myself when you came late this afternoon, so.
That's fine.
Let me take a look at it right now. This was sent to me by the condo board, the last paragraph. Oh, they're asking for us to basically clear up any violations from the pre-existing businesses. I think there's a fine from Omar's violation like that or something. We agreed basically before we open, we speak to the landlord and we get all those things rectified or settled. They said there was a partial stop work order. There was something on the roof that made it unsafe, and there was some violations from previous tenants. I told them I'd be happy to speak to the landlord and clear those up before we open.
Okay, so just for the benefit of everyone here, I'm actually just going to read the agreement, and again, you can then correct. I mean, you did sign it, so I'm assuming you're in agreement, but we can discuss it afterwards. So the agreement is a 302 Broome Street commercial unit, or the tenants of 302 Broome Street in agreement with the commercial unit, which is 1A and 1B. They are agreeing to the following. Unit 1A will be used as the dining room only, which is the ground floor level. On Fridays and live music bands and no more than 2 musicians, and only between the hours of 8 p.m. and 10:30 is allowed. There will be no live music and bands played after midnight. There will be no DJs in the dining room. And is it Shahin? Is that how to pronounce your last? Okay.
Yes.
And Shahin will, before opening the common area in the basement, is only to be accessed by the residential tenants and owners as they need full access to the water, gas, and electric meters in the basement common area and the elevator machine room in case of emergency. And is to provide documentation from a certified builder certifying that the common basement area is now closed off to the casual person of his establishment, and every owner resident has access to this area 24/7. Ed Shahan also acknowledges and agrees that all deliveries, including but not limited to the restaurant food delivery, patrons and staff are prohibited from using the residential entry and the residential elevator to the basement and first floor restaurant. The basement level will have a DJ only on Fridays and Saturday nights, playing background music up to 4 a.m. An additional door will be installed which will cover the existing door, which will be a 5-inch thick filled soundproof wall. A certified sound engineer to provide a report certifying the level of noise is at an agreed upon level for each level of the building. A certified ventilation report is required, ensuring the smells of the kitchen are not going into the residential apartments. Any work which is external to units 1A and 1B will require approval of all units in the condo and approved by the authorities before any work is started. Ed Shahan operations will not install a vestibule or anything of this nature externally around 302 Broome Street. Documentation will be provided from Ed Shahan with the written agreements and procedures he has for following, but not limited to, security team, staff, cleaners, etc., and any other requests that will be included from the owners or tenants. Agree to get prior approval and have access to the rooftop before approval to access the roof. Condo management must view all documentation to ensure approvals have been obtained from the authorities and meet the consideration of the owners. Water meter, a sub-water meter will be installed prior to the commencement of operations at the cost of Ed Shahan. Ed Shahan will ensure the sub-water meters are paid timely to the authorities. If no sub-water meter is installed, Ed Shahan will pay the condo management 50% of the amount over $3,500 per month. There will be no smoking, no cigars, no hookah, and no weed allowed or used in the premises. Any smoking around the entrances to 1A and 1B will not be allowed, and the management will ensure people go across the road to smoke. The sidewalk will be cleaned on a nightly basis, swiped and mopped, and no rubbish will be left on the sidewalk. There are numerous outstanding violations, partial stop work order, abandoned and unsafe equipment on the roof, and monies owed to the tower condo from the previous tenants. These need to be rectified and settled before the businesses commence. Okay, so that's the agreement that you signed and agreed to with the tenants. So I will say off the bat that a lot of that stuff, albeit it's an agreement with the tenants, it's some of the stuff that we can't necessarily enforce or the SLA can't necessarily enforce. Your agreement with them may still stand, and that's fine, and you should honor it, but it's not necessarily some stuff that we can put into our resolutions, but it is, all of these things I think are things you probably should be doing, so. And something.
I agree.
Okay, so that's the agreement that you agreed to. That in some ways will clear up a lot of things. We do just need to go down through kind of your application and make a few of the changes to reflect what you agreed to with the residents here.
Okay.
Sorry, I was skipping ahead. But yeah, I'm sure we probably have a couple people from the public here that would like to speak to this item. Please raise your Zoom hand and we'll promote you to speak. Okay, so first I'm going to go ahead with Jeffrey Hanley.
Good evening.
Okay.
One of the questions I had is, and Ed's been very good, and we appreciate he's spent time and discussed with us as the owners his go forwards. But the interesting, or one of the challenges I have, is there is two parts, if you like, to this building. There is really the restaurant level, and then there's the basement. And just on sound levels, is it possible to designate different levels for the different space occupations?
I think they addressed that in the application, in the agreement. I think they had already addressed that. Is that correct, Ed? Let me look back at the agreement.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time? I didn't quite actually get that. Can you repeat what you said?
Mine or the board's?
No,
Yeah,
yours.
Your comment, Jeffrey.
Oh, great. It strikes me that the restaurant really, which is the closest to the residents,
Right.
ambient level would be more appropriate than entertainment level. because that sets a different expectation with regard to the sound level. I mean, I understand for the lower floor, the basement, if you like, that entertainment level DJ, that's that's more understandable. But for the restaurant ambient level, would seem more appropriate.
So for the restaurant, we said from 8 to 10:30 we'll have entertainment or live bands. Nothing entertainment level after 10:30, and no music whatsoever after midnight. Like no, it would be ambient after 10:30 on.
Okay, is that something? And that's great, and I appreciate that, Ed. And is that something that can go into the?
That's already in the agreement.
Yeah, I suppose it's translating the agreement we have with you, Ed, into what the board are going to put into their recommendation.
Yeah, so to answer your question, that is something that we do oversee and will go into the final resolution stipulations.
Okay, great. And Ed, you're comfortable that that's designated ambient rather than entertainment?
We can discuss that we'll discuss that in a second too, but.
Yeah. After 10:30, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was, and then the second thing, just I keep hearing sound check, sound levels.
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand. Is there a level that gets set? And maybe the board can help me on this one, so that if someone's in the residence above, and someone comes to check it. Is there a decibel level that's set?
So that's what we were saying on the last meeting I had with the building, that I'm going to have a sound engineer come check what levels are acceptable, so that on the second floor or whatever, the residents would not be able to hear it, and we can maybe even set a decibel that's appropriate or whatever. But I think I emailed saying I'll set a meeting after this, and then if the residents want to attend or tell me what levels are too high, not too high, we would all coordinate and do that.
Right, and I think Ed, that we talked about as residents, and we can't be there. I'm not in New York at this stage, but doing a walkthrough with you.
Yes, yeah, I invited whoever can come, and that way we set an appropriate level.
Yeah, because that probably touches on the second point, which is the access, which I think there's a plan that's been sent, because historically there was adjustments made to the entry, which is what caused the issue around security and access by patrons to the residential units. And my understanding is that, and this is for security purposes, right? You'll be looking to reinstate that.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. Reinstate what?
Originally there was three. I mean, we had this discussion the other day. 3-door accesses. There's now the original plan. I believe Caitlin has shared it, which shows three.
Yeah, so she said yes. There's 2 doors, one for the restaurant, one for the lounge area, the downstairs, and then one for the residents. I agreed not to use the residential entrance whatsoever. For deliveries, my guess nothing. I would not be using the third entrance.
Okay. I think we're on the same page. I haven't walked through it myself, so it's.
I have not either. That's I haven't.
Commitment to it. All right.
But yeah, I've agreed to that since the last one. So yeah, I think we're on the same page.
And then, obviously, ventilation. I don't think. Is this ventilation something the board covers? Sorry.
So the ventilation they said was messed up from Stone Pizza. It looks like somebody cut the hood off or something like that. I agreed to fix it because to have food, I'm gonna have to fix that anyway. So before I open, the ventilation issue will be fixed. Right.
And sorry, just a question for the community board: is ventilation within your purview?
It's not for the SLA. It's not really for us from the SLA. We sometimes have mentioned it if it's when it's been a problem and it's causing disturbances, it's rattling, it's shaking the roof and building. We can address it in that way, but the rest of it is more of a health department and building department, I think.
Right. Well, there is a little, as you probably know from the last meeting, there was a little bit of, there was a lot of concern from the top floor tenant because of the illegal installation of the hood, which, and Ed, I know you've made commitment to rectify.
Yeah, I just want to say, yeah, I spoke to my contractor. It's the law. We can't cook that way. Like, it needs to be properly ventilated. So it will be fixed before we open. That's not something I can bypass, regardless of SLA. It's even if there was no liquor license, it the way the smoke is going up into the building now, it's totally illegal. So it has to be fixed regardless.
Yeah.
So
Okay, appreciate that.
yeah,
Sorry, that's probably enough questions for me.
yeah. No worries. If you have any other concerns, just let me know.
Okay, thank you, Jeffrey. Next, I see Odine Steamers.
Yeah, hi. I've got slightly bad internet here, so I apologise if I go in and out. First of all, I'd just thank Ed for being really communicative and we've been able to get together on had a good conversation this week.
Thank you.
Or sorry, last week, and I do think we'll make a time where people can come around and walk through the place and what you're planning to do, and I really do thank him for that. And with that shows, trust and honesty that he's going to respect the residents in there, so thank you. Probably my biggest concern, and I'm going to come back, is the security. The security from the basement, the original floor plan of that area was for a store, not for being any form of entertainment. And so therefore the elevator is on the basement floor, and it does concern me how we're going to stop patients coming up to the residence area. So that is one concern there. And the second concern is the doors. There were 3 doors in the front of the building. One of those doors have now been taken out or blocked off. I'm not too sure what has happened, but that door we need to have be put back because we need to be able to get to the meters. And we shouldn't have to go through your building to get to the meters, your entrance.
Right. Okay, well, thank you. I know, Odin, you've been like the nicest person. I still have not walked the space, like I said, last week, but as far as the 3 doors, I'll make sure there's 3 doors because I think one has to be for the restaurant, one has to be for the residential, and one has to be for the downstairs. As far as the issue about the access to the elevator or the common area, I already agreed to either wall it off, have my contractor build something, or at all times have a security guard there. I definitely don't want my guests or patrons kind of wandering into the common area or, disturbing the building or guests or anything like that. So, I've already agreed to that. And when I do the walkthrough, I'm looking forward to meeting you, and we'll, I'll make sure there's 3 entrances, and I'll make sure nobody gets to the messes with the elevator or gets into the common area or anything like that. But thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to have to trust you because I most probably won't get to New York on time because I'm not planning to be there in the next few months.
I still haven't even set the walkthrough, so I'll send an email if you guys want to tell me what day is good. It doesn't have to be next week; it can be the following, whatever. I'm going to be there more than once.
Yeah,
so it's not. We'll figure it out. So.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll talk to the other residents, and as you know, one of the active residents, so I'll talk to other residents, and we can make a time that will suit people. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know what works for everyone, and then we can kind of do everything at once. I'll check out the hood. I'll go to the roof. I'll do the decibel test, the sound test. I'll do the doors. We'll kind of knock everything out. So it would be easier for me if I could schedule my contractor and my sound engineer and just kind of knock everything out once. So just let me know when it works for all the residents, and I'll be there. And thank you.
Yeah, I'll get communicating with them. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else here from the public that wishes to speak to this item? Please raise your hand and we will move on. Okay, so Ed, so I'm gonna go through, I think, just your previous, I guess I'm gonna just kind of quickly go through the questionnaire and then we'll kind of resolution, because some of the things that I have some questions on the questionnaire based on the agreement you just made. Okay. So I think based on the agreement, I think they were in agreement with your hours, with the hours you were proposing originally, correct?
Yes, I think we're in agreement, yeah.
Which were 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. Friday, 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. on Saturday, and 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Sunday. That's what you had in your questionnaire. Did you want, I think you wanted 12, you wanted earlier on Saturday, correct, or not?
I did. It's not a deal breaker. It's not a major thing. If I could have earlier, that would be great. But it's not.
They wouldn't object to that then.
Well, yeah, we welcome you to open earlier at daytime activities. What I will say though is, I just want to caveat that by saying, if you say you're going to open at 12, then you need to be open at 12. So if you're not sure if you're going to have the earlier hours, if you open it, you say your hours are 5 p.m. to midnight, or I'm sorry, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m., you can open earlier than 5 p.m. You have to be open by 5. So if you say 12 noon, you have to be open by 12 noon. So
I guess for now we'll say 5, and then the plan is to eventually open earlier.
yeah, because the way our language is, it's opening no later than. So you can open at noon on Saturdays and Sundays. That's fine. But so you want to leave it at 5 all days?
Yes, we'll leave it as is. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And then the closing hours, like I said, were 2 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and 4 a.m. Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
I think that was it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 a.m.? Just Friday and Saturday. So yeah, I didn't think that was changed. Okay, so that was the hours. So back to the okay, so you're still proposing 2 bars on the first floor and 1 in the basement floor, correct?
Yes.
That hasn't changed. So nothing. I mean, I know you're talking about other doors and locking, but as far as your configuration of your space, that hasn't changed.
No, the layout, the floor plans and layout has not changed. They were just basically discussing like operational things.
Yeah. The elevator, stairways, etc.
Right,
So
yeah.
okay, so the general layout hasn't changed. Now, as far as the music,
Mm-hmm.
I know you said on the main floor, which I think 1A is the ground floor, 1B is the basement cellar level, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So 1A is proposed to be the dining room, and it was going to be live music between 8 and 10:30.
Right, yeah. And the idea is no loud music or nothing really, not even like background music beyond midnight. But entertainment will be like from 8 to 10:30, just while people are having dinner, watch a show, watch a live band, something like that.
And that is an entertainment level, or is that a background level?
I think that's background level. That's not. I mean, it's not anything crazy. I think
That was something you mentioned earlier. You mentioned it would be at entertainment level, and for a dining room, entertainment level is more like concert.
Yes, yeah. I think I just meant like I misunderstood, but yes, it's not going to be entertainment level. It's going to be background.
Between 8 and 10:30, but the live music would still be at background level. Is that?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then in the basement is going to be DJs. Are you playing live music in the basement as well?
Probably not. No.
Okay, so the basement is just DJs. So live music is it going to be acoustic live music upstairs then?
It could be. Depends who we book. On it could be. It just depends. Really.
But
It'll be like.
even if it's amplified acoustic, it's still going to be a background level then, correct?
Yes, it's always going to be background level.
Okay. So then basement level will be DJs.
Mm-hmm.
And then without flipping back to the agreement, was there any limits on the time frame of the DJs or the music in the basement level?
No, there wouldn't be. The only thing was we're gonna serve food till an hour up to close, and it's just gonna be a nice, like loungy feel. But there's no time limit on that.
So back to that. So our general, what we require is some food service during all its operation.
Okay, yeah, we were planning on doing last call at 3 in the morning because the hours are 4.
So that doesn't mean if someone orders something at 5 till that you have to serve them, but it's basically while people are there, there should be some food available for them to eat. But again, it doesn't have to be at 5 till 4.
Mm-hmm.
You can't cut this.
Would 5 to 3 be acceptable for that or no?
No, I meant like 3:55. If someone comes in at 3:55,
3:55. Okay, that's fine. I'll talk to Michelle. That's fine. I can extend it. That's not a big deal.
up to the last minute, but you have to have food available during your hours of
During
operation.
those hours. That's fine.
That's our standard language that we normally use.
Okay.
Another question about going back to the music and the sound. You mentioned you were going to have a sound engineer come in.
Mm-hmm.
Our standard language is that the music and sound is not audible in the adjacent apartments.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Our general language that we use for the soundproofing and noise is that a sound engineer will be used to ensure that sound is not audible in neighboring apartments.
Okay, yeah. That's, I don't want to be like a disturbance to the neighbors. Yeah, I agree.
It's, they shouldn't be laying in their bed hearing your music, even if and the difference is, some sound engineers are going to tell you that the minimum sound is 80 decibels. The
Okay.
difference, 80, and that is city code, but 80 decibels is still conversation level. So if you're laying in bed and you're hearing music that loud, it's a disturbance. So our standard is to ensure sound is not audible in neighboring apartments. Do you agree to that?
Yeah, I agree to that. I was initially just gonna invite the residents to actually tell me this is okay, this is not okay, and kind of set what level.
No, that's good. To have the residents there, especially the residents directly above, and then when you have an engineer that can do tests, and likely the sound engineer is going to set a limiter and everything else so that the music can't be raised above a level where it's going to disturb them, whether it's by bass, from the vibrations, or from just the noise itself.
Okay, yeah, it's totally reasonable.
Okay, that's good. And I think there was one other thing I had a question about. So on your original application, you had no more than 6 to 8 private parties per month. Now, a private party, what we consider is a full buyout of the entire space of a close down. Is that, you're planning 6 to 8 private parties per month? Is that?
No, I just didn't know how many would come in, so I just wanted to say that was a rough number. Maybe 6 to 8, might be a little less actually. I'm not too sure. It really depends. Like, for example, holiday season, you do more, I don't know. It might be like 3 to 4, it might be 6 to 8.
So
I'd say that's a good average, 6 to 8.
So you put per month. If it's easier, because we do have applicants do this often, is they'll list a number per year. That way you're not locking yourself into this if you have more over the holidays.
Okay.
It's a little flexible that way, so,
I think 6 to 8 is a good number. I think that's accurate. 6 to 8 per month.
Okay. And that's an entire buyout of both floors.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And how many security are you proposing then?
I was originally saying 2, but then after speaking to the residents, we're going to do more to start. The way I see it, it's going to be a learning curve. We need more security to usher people away. Smoking in front of the building. The later hours have people disperse, so the noise isn't disturbing them. I might start with 3, go down to 2. We don't really know yet. We'll see how busy we are when we actually open, but I'm thinking in the range of 2 to 3.
Okay. And it's a closed fixed facade, right? You're not making any changes to the front. You're not having operable windows, are you?
No, I agreed to no changes to the front.
Okay, so I think those were all the main points that I had questions about and correcting to see if anything had changed from your application. I see one other person has now raised their hand. We're going to take this quickly. Julian, we're going to promote you. If you have a question or if you have something to add to this, please go quickly because we're ready to move on. Jolene had raised her hand. Jolene Lopez, but I think Jolene put their hand down, so. Jeff? Yeah, okay. Specific. Well, there was Jolene Lopez I saw was down there, but she didn't get down, so don't worry about that. Go. Okay, Jeff, we're gonna promote you quickly. 2 minutes. No, we're gonna do less than 2 minutes because we're ready to move on. We had already asked for public comment. I will let you speak quickly, but we're not giving you 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Jeff Lawrence. I'm a neighbor on the block, two buildings over. This is 302 Broome, correct?
Correct, it is, yes.
I'm sorry, I came in late from work. I apologize, and I won't be too long. And this is not at all a reflection on Ed, or I didn't vet Ed or the business coming in. I just want to say we have a restaurant that opened across the street that's supposed to be a restaurant. They're operating as a nightclub. They told us there'd be bagels and juice and this. And the room that was supposed to be in has TV sets in the window that says nightclub open Saturday night. They are operating as a nightclub. The last time we had 2 nightclubs on this block, we had Louis and Chan on one side, for those of you that remember, and Happy Ending on the other. This is the largest amount of 311 calls ever dialed into the city. Hundreds and hundreds. Happy Endings was an abomination. I have videotapes of knife fights and drug deals that I submitted to the board before they were finally out. Then a new incarnation of Happy Endings came out, I remember, and then it was Happy something. But when you have 2 nightclubs facing each other on a narrow street like this, and people coming out at 3 in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning, it's going to be hell. There is no traffic on this street. It is blockaded by the Allen Meridian, and it is blockaded by Sarah Roosevelt Park. There are no Ubers that can get through. I've seen it. It's unmitigated hell. Hundreds of people on this small block with 2 nightclubs operating opposite each other. And I'm vehemently against this. And again, this Early Terrible that opened supposed to be a restaurant, they're operating as a nightclub. It's ropes. They have outdoor seating at 2 in the morning. I thought outdoor seating's over at midnight. They're extended across the street. They're seating half a block down. They have 50 seats of people sitting outdoors at 2 in the morning. And now you open another nightclub across the street. I've seen this before. It's absolute hell. Please don't do this to us.
Have you filed 311 complaints or contacted the community board office about the place across the street?
We're working on that.
Okay, because that's...
Yes, I do have 311 complaints that the police took action to respond and fix the problem. Yes, that is on record, but I am working with my neighbors. We haven't formed in many years because we haven't needed to. It's been quiet since COVID, but we're going to need to be active again. And if this is another nightclub, it's going to be hell.
So what I would suggest too, if, whatever happens if this ends up getting approved, is that you're going to have Ed's number. He seems to be willing to work with the residents and neighbors, so it could be something you can reach out directly to him as well.
Okay, I look forward to doing that. And again, this is not a reflection on Ed or the people coming in or the Early Terrible that seem like nice people. It just seems that people open these restaurants / bar, music clubs, and they just start operating as a nightclub every single time. Been there, done that. It's been going on for 20 years, and I think everyone on the board knows what I'm talking about. So I will absolutely introduce myself, and hopefully we can keep things in check. But I do want you to know on basic principle, and I can speak for my neighbors that are not here, we just can't have 2 nightclubs opposite each other on a tiny block like this.
Yeah, we completely hear that and understand that. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I think that was the only new person. I did see, I don't know, is there someone else, did I see another hand up, or was it just, okay, so I think I've had all my questions answered, or I've asked all my questions. Does anyone else on the committee have any questions?
So they're in agreement with the upstairs neighbors?
The middle hour, yes.
Okay.
The tenants have agreed with them.
4 of them downstairs.
Yeah, the tenants have agreed. And they're, again, these were hours of, there was a previous place, I mean, not counting Stone Pizza because nothing is legal about that, but the previous place, Omar's, had similar hours and full license and everything else, so it's not. So this is essentially replacing Omar's, replacing an existing establishment with similar hours and seems to be possibly a better method of operation. Got it. Okay. Is everyone in agreement then, kind of with what we've just kind of gone through? We'll go through an organized set of stipulations, but does anyone have any?
I think if the upstairs neighbors,
Yeah.
they're the most.
I mean, they're the interactive ones, and that's generally what we'll. And again, we're not adding another license; it's an existing establishment, so we're, already. It's not a unlicensed location.
I'm concerned about the access to because I've run into that same
In your own building.
But if they say that they'll put up a wall and leave the third
They're adding
door
their
access,
third access.
that's good.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and put up a stipulation form, which will reflect what we've just gone through with you. Okay. Can you see it? Can you just zoom in just a tiny bit more? Okay, and so I'm assuming, Ed, is it Sol Shahin? Is that?
Well, that's actually misspelled. It's SALAH. I think that's a typo.
Okay, so it's AH, not AK.
Well, it's one name. It's SALAH.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, that's a typo.
Okay. S-O, you said S-O-H?
Yeah, SALAH. That's Sal. That's my father. Was my dad.
Okay. Representative 302 Broome Street LLC.
Correct.
Will be a full liquor license, will operate a full service restaurant, specifically American comfort food, with kitchen open and serving food during hours of operation. Hours of operation will be Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m., Friday and Saturday, 5 p.m. to 4 a.m., Sunday, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. And then I will employ a doorman security. You said, we don't, so is it, we don't want to lock you into having too many, but you were saying you're going to start with, is it reasonable to say 2 per night?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
And additional if needed or something like that, is that?
Yes. Yeah, and more if needed. Yeah.
Okay. And then I will sell soundproofing to supplement the existing soundproofing. Sound from basement and restaurants will be inaudible to building residents. You'll have a closed, actually that needs to be changed because it is a closed facade. So it's not closing, you will have a closed fixed facade. There's no opening windows, so.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, so you will have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, but you won't, you will have DJs and live music, but you won't have third-party promoted events or any event in which a cover fee is charged or scheduled performances or more than 6 to 8 private parties per month. We do need to put in there the language about live music will be at background level. Okay, so maybe on level 1A, live music will be background level between 8 and 10:30 p.m.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then ambient recorded music all other times.
Yeah.
On level 1A, live music will be between 8 and 10:30 p.m.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ambient recorded background music all other times.
Mm-hmm.
And then DJs at entertainment level in the basement.
Yep. Thank you.
The only thing, and I'm just looking quickly at your agreement, didn't you say, and I was a little confused, in their language, was the live music only intended on the main floor? Is that only intended to be Friday and Saturday night?
For now, it might be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, live music bands of no more than 2 musicians between the hours of 8 to 10:30. That was in your agreement with the residents.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
do that.
I don't think I'm gonna do bands every single day. That's just excessive. But it would be just weekends to start. Yes.
Okay, so that was your agreement, so we'll leave that in there. Okay, so that takes care of the music section. So next item, it's not going to be recorded background music because you will have live music upstairs and you will have DJs at entertainment level in the basement.
Right.
You will not apply for any alterations to the method without coming before CB3. You will not seek a change in class. It's already full liquor, so it doesn't matter. You will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. You will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches. You will not have a happy hour. You will not have wait lines outside, and you will have a staff person to ensure there's no loitering or crowds. You will conspicuously post a stipulation by your liquor license, and residents may contact the owner manager at the number below. And we'll correct the name. It's SALAH.
Yes. Yep.
And then the number is 646-427-4420.
Can you read this one? All right.
And then
I will buy it.
And then it says, I will abide by the terms of the agreement with building residents signed and dated September 13th. And will seek approval of building residents before applying for alterations of license terms.
Yep. Thank you. That's correct.
Okay. Everyone on the committee? We're all in agreement? Okay. So if everything is good, we're gonna go ahead and move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger?
Yes.
Daniel Tano?
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer, yes. Michael Lavario, yes. Okay, so these stipulations will be sent out to Frank, to your attorney, and you'll get them signed and notarized and back to us by the date requirements.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Guys. Bye.
Oh, so I skip